A man by the name of Marty in Sacramento is so fed up with people engaging in sexual rendezvous in the park across the street from where he lives that he decided to set up some surveillance cameras and then report these individuals to authorities. Now, we have a quick video explaining exactly what he's doing and why he's doing it. Let's take a look.
This couple is getting frisky out in the open for any passerby to see. Afterwards, they adjust their clothing, then take off. Here, another couple cuddles, then gets behind the wheel and drives away. And these lovebirds climb into the back of their car. As things get steamy, Marty, the neighborhood watchman, actually confronts them.
I'm just a guy that is protecting my neighborhood and my family.
Marty, the neighborhood watchman, is secretly recording them.
Oh, God. Oh, so wrong. Especially when I saw Marty. I never had visualized him until this moment. I read that he was a concrete salesman, but god damn, he is creepy looking.
Okay, all right.
Well, he has to not actually, Marty isn't his real name. He has to not use
Whatever,
his real
I want to
name,
call him Marty. I like
I think
it.
we can pretty much figure out who he is. Not that we should, because there's a right to privacy that I guess Marty doesn't.
There's no right to privacy when you go on local television. You're
no,
like,
I mean,
I'm taking pictures of fornication.
I'm trying to draw how it's funny how he's like, don't use my real name, but like, look at all these people I've been filming.
I know, but there's a huge difference there. Look, I don't want to get down on people who are into having adventurous sex out in public. Like,
it's the best.
Sometimes other people do it. I can't be a hypocrite. But like the one thing that I want to say is when you're having sex in public, you have no expectation of privacy. So someone can very well surveil you, and that's on you. It's not really I don't want to say it's not wrong for a person to film you, right? Because I think that the person filming you is wrong. They probably shouldn't do it. But you have no expectation of privacy when you're having sex in public. So if they're in a public park, yeah, you might get caught. And this guy, I honestly, like, he's tired of people doing drugs at the park across the street. He's tired of people doing wrong things. I mean, I don't want to say that it's wrong
I like that he's trying to clean up his park. I think that his intentions are good.
Yeah.
You know,
is it?
I don't think he's a bad guy. That being said, it still feels creepy.
Of course it does.
The whole thing feels creepy. But
is it?
I think that his heart is in the right place.
No, it's not, because he says, I video everything. We either offer it to the police to use as evidence against them, or we put it up on YouTube. And that's where it goes fucking creepy, Marty. Everyone in public yes, you're right, they can be filmed. But when you take that footage and you put it on YouTube, all of a sudden, that is illegal.
So you just touched on an important distinction, and I agree with you on that. If you want these people to get caught because you feel like they're doing something illegal and it's wrong, it's one thing to report it to the authorities. It's another thing to try to destroy their lives by putting it up on YouTube. There's no need for that. That's
just a story on revenge porn. Like,
I totally disagree with him putting the videos up on YouTube. He says, I have seen and recorded 50-some sex events. I don't know how many of those
events.
Sex events, Marty.
Man,
God damn it, figure it out.
This park is hopping. They're having just sex events left and right.
What's really funny to me, there's a couple different really funny things. One, the coverage when they're talking about it. This couple was fondling one another, and then they just drove off. It's like, whoa, they fucking fondled and then drove away? That's crazy, man. Like, what is that?
Dancing.
I know.
One couple was just bumping and grinding in the park. They didn't even need music. That's how in love they were. It's really rather sweet.
It's just, it's so weird and creepy. And why is everyone having sex outside of Marty's house? And also, if I lived in Sacramento, I would totally have sex outside of Marty's house now. You're like, yeah, Marty.
Okay, so the point that I wanted to make is, I know that there have been parks in areas that I grew up in that had similar issues. So I grew up in Reseda, California, right? And there's this, there's a hill with all sorts of hiking trails, and a lot of people used to park up there, do their business, and leave. And so the residents in that area were frustrated by it, so they started putting up surveillance cameras, and they were being very transparent about the fact that there were cameras everywhere, which is important, I think. And then another thing they did to deter, illegal activity or, public fornication is they had cops patrol that area and make sure that people didn't do things that residents in that area didn't want. I don't blame Marty for not wanting people to engage in illegal activity outside of his home. I totally understand where he's coming from. But he's going above and beyond when he posts these videos on YouTube, when he shares these videos with news organizations so they can share it with the world. I get that these people do not have an expectation of privacy, but at the same time, you should try to solve the issue, not gratuitously go after them in this way of posting
It's
stuff
messed
online.
up and it's creepy, and I bet Marty gets his rocks off a little bit.